Hello, my name is India. I use she, her, and they, them pronouns, and today we are doing a knit chat. We're talking about knitting and craft related things that pertain to the month of January. I have a little chai with me right now. The cats are probably going to make an appearance, as they do. This is their apartment and I just live in it. But yeah, we are going to start and do things in the order that B of the Maker Bee podcast does. So starting with acquisitions and then ending with finished objects. We are also going to talk about my make 9 for the year, and I just realized one of my whips is over in the corner, so I need to get it. Let's start with some things that I have thrifted. So I thrift a lot of my yarn. I think at least half of my stash is thrifted yarn or yarn that I am pulling from sweaters that I find that have been felted. So I have 3 things that kind of fall into that category. The newest thing is this like white cream Levi's merino sweater. It again has been shrunken, has been kind of felted a little bit. I've had pretty good success unraveling shrunken sweaters, but yeah, it was just like, this is $10. I would pay $10 for a sweater's quantity of yarn. I have yet to knit up anything that I have repurposed, and so I'm still figuring out like how yardage is impacted by the like shrinkage or like felting process, but that'll be made into something probably at a looser gauge so that I can get something that fits me a little better, or like get something that fits me, period. I then have this cabled what is this, Banana Republic sweater cardigan. Similar thing. This is either gonna become like another like loose gauge sweater or go into other types of projects. And then the last thing is a quantity of yarn that's already been caked up. I'm hoping to make a Jessie May or Jacqueline C-Slack fingering / DK weight sweater. And particularly, I bought something to hold with it. This year, I want to continue to embrace color in my life. Not hard to do. I mean, I've got green hair, so, but I got some like rainbow tweed lace weight yarn. This is from Rico Design Creative Make It Tweed, and yeah, I want to hold this with the gray and have like a gray tweedy piece. My cat is on top of some of the next acquisitions that I have, so we'll go on to one that's kind of tied to a work in progress. So I want to make a plethora of crocheted candy hearts, like conversation hearts. And so one day after a rough day at work, I picked up candy heart colored yarn from Michael's. So we've got, these are all loops and threads. We've got this green one, this baby pink. I want to hold them all up together, but I'll do that after. It's like peachy orange, yellow, the baby blue, and purple. So they look like that. And I'm really excited. So I have been following a pattern, a free pattern that I found on Ravelry. So far I have one of the heart panels and the side constructed, and I need to make the back and then do some embroidery slash cross stitch on the heart itself. But this is one of the things I'm working on. She's really making herself comfortable, and I can't do anything about that. But yeah, working on this. I changed the angle so that we can see her a little bit better. Try to. There we go. For that project, I also picked up some crochet hooks. This is an E and an F, even though they look the same. They look exactly the same size. The prototype that I've been trying, I've been knitting with an H, or crocheting with an H. So I'm hoping to make it smaller. Also, on that same trip to Michael's, I picked up these dinosaur charms. And I've just been adding some little hoops to make them stitch markers. But like, I think that's so cute. And I think the last of my acquisitions is Pom Pom Magazine's last issue, Checkmate, Ode to Wovens. And there are so many cool patterns in here. Yeah, there are fingerless mitts that I think are going to be the first thing that I get to in this book, because I've been meaning to make myself a pair of fingerless mitts, and these are just gorgeous. So these are the Roosie mitts by Stine Holigard. Just like, it's so beautiful. And then one day I will make myself this set, probably in a low contrast or almost monochrome colorway. Those are my acquisitions. Let's chat about my works in progress. So both of my works in progress also relate to my Make 9. So the first one that I have is the Good Ol' Raglan by, I'm forgetting the designer's name. I just want to scooch over so that I can insert things and not cover her up. But I've been making this in 2 strands of Malabrigo Malabrigo Ultimate Sock, I believe. And looks like this. I'm marling the 2 colorways. Got this like variegated, like warm toned, purple, pinky, there's some green in there, there's some blue, and then this deeper blue shade. And right now I am in the middle of casting off the ribbing for the body, and then I will pick up the sleeves. This is a sweater that I'm making for my 4-year-old cousin, and with most kids' sweaters, I'm really nervous about sizing because kids grow faster than we expect them to, and I am just a tight knitter, and so I think I tend, even when I do a swatch, I tend to make things that are a little smaller than I thought they would be. And the other whip that I have is almost a finished object. I'm really excited about it. This is the Iyun sweater by November Knits. It is a raglan with this high body slit and ribbing. So obviously this has not been blocked yet. You can see I still have my stitch markers from when I did my increases. It is interesting because I blocked it and you can see kind of that line between the blocked fabric and unblocked fabric. I'm so excited about this. I am knitting it in Woolstock, Blue Sky Fibers, Woolstock Worsted in the colorway October Sky. This is as much as I have left, so I'm definitely going to be able to finish it because this morning I did the tubular bind off for one of the panels, and I just have to do the rearranging of the stitches and tubular bind off for the other panel, and then I just have to block it and I'll be done. Again, both the good old raglan and this were on my make 9, and so there is this additional sense of accomplishment of like, hey, not only have I finished a garment, but I finished something on my list of things that I want to make. I only have 2 sweaters that I've made for myself. One of them I don't wear, so I'm probably going to be unraveling it and repurposing that yarn for a different pattern, a different kind of sweater. It's a sweater made of cotton yarn and is a lot denser than I'd like. I just don't wear it, so I think I can find a pattern that's more appropriate for that yarn to get better use out of it. But I cannot wait to wear this sweater. I just think I'm gonna be cool and like, yeah, not that everything's about being cool, but sometimes it's nice. I have 2 finished objects. It kind of feels like 4. But I have 2, so let's talk about them. First off, these need to be blocked and the ends need to be woven in. I have some DRK Everyday Socks by Andrea Mowry. These are knit for a friend and mentor of mine using Knit Picks Stroll that I got in a big bag of thrifted yarn. And I knew immediately that these had to go to that friend. I knit the socks kind of 2 at a time, starting at opposite ends of the ball. So it is a colorway that, what's the best way for me to show this? That goes from this like blue color to orange. And I wanted them to be matching at the top, but then, you know, fade into different colors, and I think they're really cute and I'm really proud of them. I did the these like athletic stripes and the heels with the deepest blue color that I like pulled out of the ball to save for these like accents. If I had had more forethought, I would have also done the toe in that color, or the toes in that color, but I didn't, and that's okay. And then the finished object that I'm like very proud of are these mittens that I made for a friend of mine who cat sat during Christmas break while I was visiting family. And these are the Arched Gusset Mittens by Pearl Soho. But as you can see, I duplicate stitched little snakes on them. This was a really fun thing to do. I should put these on. I feel like that will be easier to show. This is like a really fun process of like planning them and just like working on a little design. And I think that it's like really appropriate for a pair of mittens to have like snakes on them. I do need to weave in the insides because they look like that. So I'm gonna do that now, but they're fully blocked and honestly just look beautiful. I picked out this yarn for this purpose, the like base gray color. And then the green is from my Moriarty V-neck slip over that I made last year. So yeah, I think duplicate stitch is just very fun and feels like a good way to customize an article of clothing or garment, a knit article. So now let's move on to talking about my Make 9. We already talked about 2, so we've just got 7 things to chat about. I have my iPad with me so that I can look at it, and I will put my Make 9 somewhere. I'll probably put it here now that my cat has departed. This is my first year making a Make 9, and I think it was really helpful for me to kind of have a list of things that I want to get to, things I want to make. And this year I also want to keep track of my knitting more than I did last year or the year before. This is my 3rd year of knitting, and I feel like I'm at a place where I want to challenge myself more. I want to try new things, but also I've just been a very creative knitter, I would say, and I've been always open to trying new things and pushing myself. So let's go through. We have the scarf number 2 by My Favorite Things Knitwear. I have knitted this before, and I've knitted this in this particular yarn before. I want to make it in Ritual Dye's Lithadora sock yarn. A friend of mine gave me this yarn for my birthday one year, and I made this, and then I proceeded to lose it. And my wardrobe and myself have been devastated ever since. So yeah, I want to remake this. It's very wearable. It's also something that I feel like I could wear to my current job. I have to be pretty mindful of what I wear. I work in special education and particularly support elementary behaviors. So lots of running and agility is needed. So yeah, I'm like also thinking about making things that I can wear to work and that are like safe and appropriate. I want to make the Contrast Blast socks by Stephen West. A friend of mine gave me a skein of M to the Third's Wondrous Sock in Amanita with the instruction of making a Barbie sock, and I think it would just be so fun to make these with a pink yarn. I don't know if I would go with a white contrast. I might try to find like a softer pink to contrast, or maybe like a peach or some sort of variegated yarn. But this will be my first, I was about to say this would be my first Stephen West pattern. No, I made the parallel play shawl and I love it a lot, but this will be my first Stephen West sock, and I think it'll be fun. I then have like, those are the projects that I know I want to get to. The rest of these are ones that I'm like, I'd like to do this, but I don't know. We have the Roost Tank by Ella Gordon. I, again, already mentioned I source a lot of yarn by thrifting, and so I have quite a few cones of wool yarn that have created a palette that I'm very interested in for this garment. If I make this, it'll be the first time that I ever steek anything, which is pretty scary, but I can do it. And yeah, I had the opportunity, I tried color work for the first time last year on a kid's sweater. So yeah, I just want to continue to challenge myself in my skill set. In the same vein with like color work, there is the Rose Genser by Wenche Roald. I just like it. It's like a rose sweater. Again, this isn't one that I have particular yarn that I want to make with it, but I think it would just be very fun. I also have the Velma top by Gregoria Fibers. I think this is so cool. It's just like a vest. This kind of falls under like, oh, things that I could wear to work. But I just, yeah, I'm really drawn to it. This like button up vest. It's something that I think could be dressed up and dressed down. I could wear it over dresses, which is what I do with a lot of my sweaters. Or I could, you know, wear it over a t-shirt with like some jeans or shorts if I make it in a like more warm weather appropriate fiber. Then, oh, I didn't mention this. This is not in my dream knits. This is something that I'd like to get to. I want to make the Aloft shawl by Becca Knits. I have the 52 weeks of shawls, 52 weeks of scarves, 52 weeks of scarves book by Lina. And this is the one that I'm gravitating towards the most. And I have this deep purple yarn that I want to use to make it. So those are the things that I've been knitting. Those are my plans. Those are the things that I wanted to share knit and craft wise for this month. Thank you so much for watching. I make videos about reading and crafting, so if you're interested in those, you're welcome to look through my backlog of videos, and I will see you when I see you next.